Alright, world of YouTube, Tearful Sight here with another disgusting video. Oh my, OMG, whatever you want to say, I am very disgusted. And I did not catch the Super Bowl halftime show, only the ending of it. When I started watching it, all I could see was these platforms look like they were, nothing under them. And I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. But then later on, whatever the case may be, the next day, you got this dirty act of disturbing, oh my God, acts of sexual nature, disturbing. These are the acts that lead to sex offenders. And I don't know what will happen to this woman here, but for her to be this top star, everybody loves her music. I mean, I'm not a fan of her music, and I'm definitely not a fan of hers after this. I mean, if she would have just continued to make, people like music, hey, I give her credit for that. But after the Super Bowl's incident, I don't know what it is. And I mean, for all these women to come out being provocative, who's gonna up who on the stage? And obviously, right, this woman, I ain't even gonna say her name, and I got my face over her face. Of course, I'm not a good-looking guy, but hey, whatever. You have to look at my face here. Because I don't want to look at this woman's face. In all seriousness, I'm disgusted. Like I said, this is what brings, sex offenders right up on the board. You're in public, and this woman was worldwide, and that right there is a sex offender. If you're gonna sit there and touch yourself in the middle of a performance, and I ain't even gonna finish that, because I mean, believe it or not, with all the people out there, let alone perverts that probably got their rocks off by this. I mean, no words can explain this woman's, doings. Whether or not she wanted to upscale J-Lo, which I thought her show was just raunchy, ridiculous. I mean, you get an opportunity to play an event or a venue like this, man, I mean, keep it to your performance of what got you there. Keep it to the music of what got you there. I mean, if you're going to throw some high kicks, roll around or do something like this woman did and stand on platforms that look like they were invisible and, spaceship type crap, well, hey, so be it. But to go one step above and trying to upscale women from the past, I would say, and I think that's exactly what it is. Who can do a better, provocative performance? And I think that is just disgusting. I'm disappointed of the year I watched the Super Bowl, and my man Ozzy Osbourne came on stage, and literally they cut his performance off. Literally. Just off. And they didn't show the rest of it. No, you had to go online or whatever later on to watch it. But we'll have to come back after this break. Why would you... Who ordered that to cut Ozzy Osbourne off from that performance? It's beyond me, but needs the biggest smack upside their head. But let alone let this person finish a whole set and do something perverted that, right, leads to sex offender. Register as a sex offender. And then you got, like, the Rolling Bones. The next year after Ozzy played, I was watching the Super Bowl, and they come up on the stage, and there he is falling over himself. That's why I call him the Rolling Bones. Get off the stage, you old fart. Especially that guy I have no respect for after a woman he was dating committed suicide. And now he's moved on, got another woman pregnant. Who knows how old this kid is now? I could care less, but now it's like this woman don't even exist who was with him. You don't hear no updates or anniversaries to pay the respect to that poor woman. And there he is getting to do a full set. And it was a lousy performance. Lousy performance. And I just don't understand, right, how these bands all get to, finish sets and didn't cut or pan down or something when this happened with this freak. But all cameras and eyes were on her, and, Ozzy Osbourne just got shafted. And after the, song was over, the game comes back on. It's like, you're a piece of crap. That's friggin' sick. But, I don't know, man. I think this is just insane to have let this woman step up on that stage. And to me, this is why this world is corrupt with relationships. People that have want to have a good relationship, they can't have nothing good because everything's just known to be today. And me, I'm old-fashioned. My love for relationship, and I still got to do my little video on my triangle of love, of what it means to me and what it should mean to everybody else. Because it's people like this that make it all right to cheat, make it all right to, do what you want in the world and not get no consequences for it. They're calling her a rebel. She ain't no rebel. That's a pervert. That should be a registered sex offender. And she's a woman. Hey, what gives her the right, to get away with this? Or to even let him drop it? Because if it was a man playing with himself on a train or a bus, and bang, that's right. He be or touching him, revealing himself. Even the late, great Jim Morrison, whether or not he, did what he did in the 1969, this is a perfect example. They were going to convict him of being a, sexual misconduct. Fine him, guilty him, put him in jail. And I don't even think he showed his junk. I think they did what the movie did and he stuck his finger out. Jim was a very intelligent man, and to this day, I think he still is the most smartest man to have ever, stepped on a rock and roll stage. His IQ is very high. Just to think if you're still alive and collaborated with Eddie Van Halen. Oh, boy. But all in all, man, he, got all of this friggin' haywire, loss of shows. Everybody didn't, was DePaul, or if I'm using that word right, DePaul or something. I'm trying to think of that word that, disgraceful, disgustful, DePaul. I'm sure I'm not saying it right, but if you get what I'm saying, everybody was, after him. And, some say that's why he disappeared, did what he did, fake his death. No, he was facing a lot of criminal charges. And for the perfect example, back in 1969, he was getting hammered by the justice system. Why ain't this woman being criminalized and brought to justice? Kids watch the Super Bowl, and kids don't need to be exposed to this crap, even though they do. I mean, there's some little bastards, and I can't even say that, but they're all out there doing their thing, learning the facts of life, but pornography is the wrong way to do it. I know one thing: pornography twists your mind. It makes serial killers, for Christ's sakes. That's what pornography does. And to me, like I said, I'm old-fashioned. You got to do it the right way, with the right woman, right time. Better yet, to be with that woman for the rest of your life and make, history with that woman in the bed. And that's what I've done with my wife. So, I made the history. Shoot, I could say we, don't want nobody else type thing. But it's women like this and men that do this kind of stuff and twist the minds of kids and leads us to today of why F-buddies is all right to have, or looking at a woman on stage, right, doing what she did is all right to do. Back in 1969, in them days, like Elvis, just shaking his pelvis. I'm surprised he didn't get arrested or sentenced, but Jim Morrison did the same thing as this woman did. And right, he had so much shit hanging on his head. Come on. And I honestly think people said that they were at that show and they didn't see it happen. He wanted to screw with the friggin' crowd just like he always did. Just like the crowd screwed with him. Some people weren't very nice to Jim Morrison because of the things he did from the crowd. I'm sure they went above and beyond to bring that movie from Oliver Stone to the exact, thing, because all the band members, I'm sure they had to have their, 2 cents in, because they were there. They know if anybody even knew that was better than John Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, and of course the great drummer, I can't remember his name, shoot me, John Densmore. And when Jim would do these crazy things, let alone, you want to see it? They got aggravated with him. But it's what brought the change to rock and roll music. He shouldn't have done what he did with I Want to Show You. You want to see it, but honestly, I do not believe he pulled his wang out, and I think he did what he did in the movie and just showed a finger, or did something, just maybe even made it look like it was, because that's how good Jim Morrison was. He could fool you with things to the outer limits. But this, he got slammed with justice, and right now I ain't seeing nothing happening to this woman. And to me, that's disturbing and sick, and that only goes to show what we're showing our kids for morals in life. It's all right, son, daughter, go out there and be dirty. Show yourself, expose yourself. But yet if you're a person lower than the lowest on the streets, and then you go to do it, just don't get me wrong, no one should be doing it, but they get the friggin' hammer book thrown at them, and they're registered sex offenders. So, it's no different than like George Michaels. Of course, I think after what he did in the bathroom, got caught up in his dirty behavior, I do believe it. I think that's why he led to his demise, because here's one of the most iconic pop singers of all time, one of them, And then he goes off and do something crazy, gets turned down or whatever he's trying to do, and hey, I'm sure he was going to serve or even get labeled as something because, yeah, that's right there. You're a sex offender. You're in the public. A kid could come in and, whoa! So what makes this any different for this woman? I honestly believe this woman needs to be, I don't know, and she's pregnant. Oh, my God. I don't care when anybody comes at me with your being a Rihanna fan, but this is disturbing. This is disgusting. And for this to happen worldwide, just to say she wanted to justify and up every woman that stood on that stage before her, doing their prerogative show, let alone wardrobe. No, you did it the wrong way, lady. And just like everybody else throughout the dawn of time that has been gotten caught, I hope justice is served to you. And if the justice system don't do nothing, well, there's a perfect example, folks, how crooked and has done been the justice system. Sick. I don't need to watch my wife go do this stuff. I don't want to see it on TV. And my kids seen that. And they were like, what the hell just happened? What? I was like, oh, man. Nah, man, I don't teach my kids that crap. It's sick. Demented. All just to publicize your show and think you're going to make it the best that ever is and ever was. That's not the way you do it. Well, I hope the justice system prevails on this one. What gives her the right to be able to be doing something sexual in front of the world and get away with it? Sick. Till the next video, be safe. Take care. And man, sick. Out.